Let me quickly finish this up here. I think I have a few minutes on here. Anyways, this is again the last of this from Freemasonic Lodge, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Dr. Thomas E. Green, The Dream of the Ages. And from reading this, we know what he's talking about. Basically, the call for a one world utopia. And we proved that through his symbolic language to the new heaven and new earth, and the international, it's speaking using internationalism language and stuff like that, sounding, yeah. But anyways, we are going to have some strange experience adjusting things before we are through with this aftermath of war, and that's World War I, of course. The fallacy of much that has been deemed essential has been demonstrated. Expediency must give way to duty. Profit must become secondary to principle. Profit must become secondary to principle. Selfishness must yield to altruism. There can be no cure for the ills, the confusion, and the unrest of the world until faith in righteousness and the rule of universal justice are restored, and unselfish altruism is made supreme in the life of men and nations. No man can live unto himself alone. No nation can live unto itself alone. So again, it all calls for international collectivism. Not in theory, but in absolute practice. Mutuality is the world's single solvent, the one ideal that can produce lasting peace. Of this one thing we are sure. The world can no longer be half bond and half free, half clothed and half naked, half hungry and half fed. I doubt if we can much longer say that the world can exist half rich and half poor, half master and half serf in any way or shape or form that human cooperation can remedy. So, again, we read the Alice Bailey writings, and Manly P. Hall says the same thing. There's a quote by Bertrand Russell. Get over here. I have this plugged in because I'm only at 4%, but my cord is only so damn long on this. But anyways, I will just put the quote up on the comment section here. When he said that in socialism, I'm going to basically just kind of, not say it accurately, but you will be force-fed, force-clothed, and if we find that you're basically useless, we will mercifully or politely kill you. That isn't the exact word-for-word quote, but that's basically what he said. Paraphrasing it. So this guy's saying the similar thing here. We need to be forcibly taken care of by the state. Remember back here that you can, if you're interested. So, and he said it's the duty of the state back here to basically take care of us, and it's the duty of the government, that health care should basically be mandatory. It is the duty of the state to produce healthy children. So, and all that sounds nice on the surface, like, the people that are deceived with this vaccine thing, or the people deceived with the idea that the government should forcibly take care of its citizens for their own good. We know that while it's good, it sounds good on the surface to people that are just deceived, and in the long run isn't good, and it's just big government tyranny. So, and we know that many of these secret societies are pretty much at the heart of this big government tyranny. So, who impresses that great truth upon the conscience of mankind? Who impresses that great truth upon the conscience of mankind preaches the evangel that alone can save the world. It is not too much to say that as she shapes her own ideal, this America of ours is framing the picture of the years to come for civilization for the world. We have lost the moral value of the tremendous sentimentalism with which we flung ourselves into the world conflict. It was a chance for the development of a stupendous force that might have led and saved the world. It has gone down into the midst of the slimy tides of personal selfishness and grasping greed. And again, when you read their literature, especially humanist socialist literature, selfishness and grasping greed, politically and economically, is capitalism, and which they want to replace with, even Alice Bailey calls, the capitalist societies, in some of her writings as, selfishness and greed. That needs to be replaced by, obviously, some kind of collectivist socialist government. And yet America knows, because the story of the world's past tells but the single tale, that in the grand assize both men and nations shall be judged, not by what they get out of the world, but what they put into the world, leave there as a monument of their having lived. Service is the loftiest aspiration of human endeavor. The lasting victory of a nation is when it learns that true greatness lies not in rich abundance, nor in pampered selfishness, but in the devotion that loves itself last, that labors for the common good. There you go, there's that word common good again. That lives for all mankind. It is a dream, you say? I fear I must grant you that. But remember that it is the dreamer who has always led the world. Even in the most sordid chapters of the world's history that lie behind us, men have followed the signs upon the skies and not the footprints upon the sands. My brethren, these are no new thoughts that I have come suggesting to you tonight. They are but the application of the great fundamental principles of our craft, of our Masonic craft. So this is what they believe, the Masons believe, he's admitting, saying, and what they are into. They are but the great fundamental principles of our craft to the problems of this present age. Truth never changes, whether in the Holy of Holies of Solomon's rising temple, whether on the island of Patmos in the sun-kissed seas. They like that, to put the dawn, words like dawn, sun, in there. Whether through the long flight of the centuries with their contentions and their confusions, or whether now in the midst of a distracted and a ruined world, the old eternal truths are always true. Civilization, law, order, happiness, contentment, peace, the things for which men long and for which in their best moments they strive rest upon three conditions. That men should meet ever upon the level of equality and common brotherhood. Again, brotherhood is another code word of theirs. Common brotherhood, I imagine, has to do with that community, collective, group, system. And I have to put, gosh, I can't talk. Collectivist society, basically. Level of equality and common brotherhood. Yep. That they should live by the plumb of justice, that their lives should be bounded and circumscribed by the square of righteousness. These are the conditions out of which there comes in men in a national life the hewing of the perfect ashlar stone whose length, breadth, and height are equal. Now you kind of know what the true meaning of the perfect ashlar stone really is, at least in a national level. That again is another symbolism of their perfect socialist utopia. Now we know when they're talking about the New Jerusalem, what they're talking about. Countless ages may come and go, and yet the vision may not reach its full completion. But as Masons, we believe in progress. We look ever toward the east, whence comes the light. And that's the sun, S-U-N. And in that light, we have faith in the final attainment of mankind. Don't you love their symbolic language? That's what that new dawn, the golden dawn, symbolizes. Even churches with their songs like, what the heck is that Baptist song? Where it's talking about, look upon the eastern sky, salvation draweth nigh. How many Christians have sung that have no idea of the Masonic origins or Masonic, Gnostic, or mystery school origins of that, whole saying in the song. It's like, that's what the Golden Dawn, which is a political party in Europe and also a secret society. That's what the Golden Dawn really means. The Golden Dawn, it's the New Age. It's the New World Order, the Golden Age, right? And he says, and in that light of the sun, S-U-N, we have faith in the final attainment of mankind. After the tempest comes the fairy arch, men call the rainbow, and in every hue we see the promise of man's upward march that must continue the long ages through. The seer may study and the sage may search, and hopes may fall and wars may come anew. But surely as the night for morn prepares, mankind is climbing, and the years are stairs. So there you have it. So just another proof of secret societies being at the heart. The initiators, the original ones who initiated this New World Order upon us. And again, Masonic approved scholar, and I will show this until I can no longer have a channel on here. And maybe this is the next one I might read at some point. I want to get through other stuff, but we don't really totally have to. He pushes big government in here, Manly P. Hall. This is going back to the 30s, and in it, of course, what does he do? He calls for to bind the nations into a new world order. Okay, so there you go. Can't run away from these facts. Another one by the Rosicrucian Order. If you can read that, if not, my next video I will show this again, and I show this again and again and again. Maybe if can I make this any brighter? No, I can't. Yep. This is the age of a new world order, the establishment of brotherhood, and the elimination of all retarding forces. Those that aren't going to go along with this new world order. The new age is upon us. Either we harmonize with it and its laws, or we shall be destroyed by it. There you go. So, and I love using those quotes because they're the most documented proof. They're the best documented proof that I have. Not the Masons and Rosicrucians and stuff are the originators of this coming New World Order. So, it's not already here. Take care. Have a good night.